What if the Kraken was real? Below the thunders of the upper deep, far, far beneath in the abysmal sea, an ancient presence stirs. Imagine sailing across calm waters. The ocean is quiet, too quiet. The waves slow, the birds vanish, your compass begins to spin. Then the sea beneath you moves. Not like a wave, not like a current, but like something waking up. The water darkens, the surface bulges upward, and suddenly, the ocean itself feels alive. Sailors have whispered about it for centuries. Poets feared it, kings warned against it. A creature so massive it was mistaken for islands, so powerful it could drag entire ships into the abyss. They called it the Kraken, a myth, a legend, or something far more terrifying. So the question is, what if the Kraken was real? What kind of creature could exist beneath the waves? And what would happen if it surfaced into our world? Let's dive in. A monster born from the deep. To understand the Kraken, we first need to understand the ocean. More than 95% of Earth's oceans remain unexplored. The deepest trenches are darker than space, colder than Antarctica, and under pressures that would crush submarines like soda cans. Life down there doesn't follow normal rules. Creatures grow massive, strange, alien. If the Kraken were real, it wouldn't be magic. It would be biological. Scientists would classify it as a cephalopod, the same family as octopuses, squid, and cuttlefish. And that's what makes the idea terrifying, because cephalopods are already among the most intelligent animals on Earth. Now imagine one, scaled up to monstrous proportions. Why we've never found its bones. Here's something unsettling. Cephalopods have no bones, no skeleton, no fossil record. Their bodies are soft, flexible, and built entirely from muscle, cartilage, and connective tissue. That means even if a Kraken died millions of years ago, it would leave almost no trace. No skull to discover, no spine to dig up. Just organic matter, swallowed by time and pressure, which creates a chilling possibility. If the Kraken existed, it wouldn't be immortal. And if it wasn't immortal, that means there wasn't just one. There were many, and they could reproduce. Baby Krakens and a hidden population. If the Kraken followed biological laws, it would hatch from eggs, just like modern squid. That means somewhere in the deep ocean, there could be nursery zones. Protected trenches, dark, warm currents, places humans have never reached. Young Krakens wouldn't start as monsters. They would grow, slowly, silently, feeding, learning, adapting. And because giant squids today inhabit every major ocean, a real Kraken wouldn't be limited to one location. The North Atlantic might be its origin, but the oceans are connected, and nothing that lives in the deep truly stays in one place. The first sign you're not alone. The Kraken wouldn't announce itself with a roar. It would warn you in a much quieter way. Fish, lots of fish. If sailors suddenly found their nets overflowing, far more than usual, that wouldn't be good luck. That would be fear. Schools of fish fleeing upward, away from something massive moving below. The ocean would feel wrong. Too generous, too calm. Because deep beneath the surface, the Kraken would be hunting. How the Kraken hunts. Giant squids hunt by waiting. They remain motionless in the deep, extending long tentacles upward like traps. When prey gets close, it's over. The suction cups latch on with immense force. Escape becomes impossible. Now imagine that method, scaled up to a creature the size of islands. A Kraken wouldn't hunt fish. Fish would be snacks. Its true prey would be ships, wooden hulls, steel frames, entire crews. Once a ship drifted above it, tentacles would rise silently through the water. Then, one pull, and the sea would close. The strength of a sea god. Could a creature really pull a ship underwater? Physics says yes. To drag a ship down, the Kraken would need to overcome buoyancy, the force pushing the ship upward. That force is massive, hundreds of thousands of kilograms. But folklore describes the Kraken doing exactly that, wrapping tentacles around hulls, pulling steadily, relentlessly, not smashing ships apart, but dragging them whole into the depths, not violently, inevitably. Against that strength, human muscle means nothing. You wouldn't fight, you wouldn't escape, you would sink. What it would be like to be taken for. There would be no dramatic attack, no splashing battle, no warning cry, just tension spreading slowly, the deck tilting slightly, the sea pulling downward with unnatural force, ropes snapping one by one, wood groaning under pressure, then darkness, cold water rushing in instantly, pressure crushing your chest, breath stolen in seconds, and above you, tentacles, thick as towers, tightening their grip, not violently, deliberately. The Kraken wouldn't need to hurry. Panic would do nothing. The ocean would finish the job. How the Kraken would change human history. If even one Kraken lived in the Atlantic, history would look very different. Long sea voyages wouldn't be brave, they'd be suicidal. Every journey would be a gamble with no return. The Vikings may never have crossed oceans. Their ships would disappear without trace. Explorers might vanish without explanation. Maps would end abruptly at coastlines. Christopher Columbus could have been lost at sea, along with the knowledge of entire continents. Trade routes would collapse under fear. Naval warfare would be impossible to sustain. Human expansion across the oceans might never happen. Civilization would remain landlocked, cautious, afraid of what waited beyond the shore. Feeding a monster. A creature that large would need immense energy just to survive. Not occasionally, not seasonally, but constantly. That means endless feeding without pause or mercy. Whales wouldn't just be prey, they'd be fuel. Entire pods would vanish without explanation. Large fish populations would collapse silently. Shipping routes would grow dangerous over time. Ships wouldn't know why some journeys never ended. Anything that moved above it would send vibrations through the water. Every engine, every propeller, every shadow, which raises a terrifying question. If the Kraken truly existed, where is it now? Such a massive predator couldn't stay hidden without leaving scars. And maybe it didn't. Maybe the ocean already paid the price. The truth behind the myth. Many Kraken legends likely began with real encounters, giant squids rising from the depths unexpectedly. Creatures already longer than buses, already strong enough to bend metal, already capable of dragging prey into total darkness, seen briefly through fog and panic, misunderstood in moments of survival, exaggerated as stories traveled port to port. But here's the problem with dismissing the myth entirely. Human knowledge of the ocean is shockingly small. We've explored barely 5% of it. The rest remains uncharted, untouched, and unseen. Entire ecosystems exist beyond our instruments, and nature has a habit of hiding its strangest creations where we rarely look. If the Kraken surfaced today, modern ships are stronger than any in history. Steel hulls reinforce their frames. Sonar scans the deep. Satellites track movement across oceans. Yet even now, the deep sea remains a massive blind spot. Signals weaken, light disappears, sound bends and lies. Technology struggles where pressure crushes machines. A Kraken wouldn't fight navies openly. It wouldn't rise like a movie monster. It would stay below detection limits. Silent, patient, avoiding patterns, disappearing between strikes. One incident would be dismissed, another would be explained away, until fear slowly returned to waters we believed were safe. The lesson of the Kraken. The Kraken represents something far older than myth. It reflects humanity's fear of the unknown, of what waits beneath calm surfaces, of forces beyond control or prediction. It reminds us how small we truly are. We like to believe the world is mapped, measured, contained. But the ocean refuses that illusion. It hides depth beneath depth, silence beneath silence. Beneath the surface, beyond our reach, there are still mysteries powerful enough to humble us. Not monsters we can defeat, but questions we may never fully answer. So now ask yourself, if something like the Kraken really lived below the waves, if the ocean hid a monster older than history, would we even know before it was too late? If this journey into the deep made you uneasy, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more impossible creatures, hidden worlds, and terrifying what-if scenarios, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Because here, every story begins with two simple words: untold what if.